back here in the kitchen. We're gonna make a panko encrusted chicken parmesan a little bit later on, but right now we're gonna make a tomato sauce from scratch to go over the chicken parmesan. And this is a basic, simple recipe. It's kind of a cheater's recipe because we're not gonna add the celery and carrots. I can do that video another time. We're gonna take a couple shortcuts on some of the stuff here. But for this recipe, we're just going to use, I'll just dive in and show you guys the ingredients. We're going to use 4 cans of San Marzano tomatoes, and just use which brand you like, and that's fine. I actually have 2 fresh tomatoes too that we can chop up and put in there that I have in my crisper, so we can put that in there also. You can use anywhere from 2 to 4 cloves of garlic. It's just on preference. Basically, when you're doing a basic tomato sauce or a marinara, you just have to have the primary ingredients, and then it's all to taste from there. I like to have more garlic. I'm gonna put like 4 cloves at least in there, maybe 5 cloves of garlic. I want it really garlicky. That's how I am. But feel free to just do 2. I'm using a small yellow onion. We're gonna cut this pretty fine. You can use some red pepper or some dried pepperoncini that we're gonna put in there. If you don't have dried pepperoncini, just put a pinch or so of just red pepper flakes. Everybody's got red pepper flakes. What else do we have? We're gonna do some dried oregano, some Italian seasoning, and bay leaves, like 2 bay leaves. And then one of my secrets for when you're doing a quick marinara is veggie bouillon cubes. Seems a little weird to put in a marinara, but it makes perfect sense. If you're not gonna put the onion and the celery, I'm sorry, we are putting onion in there. If you're not gonna put the celery and carrots in there, this is a good substitute for the flavor, the vegetable flavor to flavor your marinara, your tomato sauce, if you're just in a hurry. So this is kind of like a cheater's recipe. So we're gonna start prepping these items and we'll get started. Okay, so we cut up the garlic and the onion, we're ready to fry it. Just use a big pot. You can use a frying pan, you don't have to use a Dutch oven. Just a little bit of olive oil. Start with the onion. Now we're not looking to caramelize it. We just want to soften it up. We're not trying to cook it down too much. Come on with the garlic. So you saw me get a little bit crazy. I did about 4 to 5 cloves. I like it garlicky. That's how I want it. If you want to use less, you can use less. That smells so good already. You can add in your pinch or so of red pepper flakes. I'm using the dried pepperoncini it's mixed with a little bit of pepper flakes, the red pepper flakes. So this is optional. You don't have to do this if you don't want. It's not necessarily for heat. It's not really to make it spicy, but it kind of does wake everything up. So it does add a good overall flavor. Now we're gonna come in with the tomatoes. All right. So I want to add my bouillon in there now. And this is 2. Put our bay leaves in there. So I'm also gonna add my salt right away because the whole tomatoes in there, I want them to release their water. A little bit of kosher salt. So we're gonna let this go for maybe about 15 minutes. Just have everything kind of cooked down and just kind of mash up the whole San Marzano tomatoes. and just let everything incorporate. We want to just add in some of the Italian seasoning, maybe like a tablespoon. Some black pepper. A good pinch of sugar. And then some of the basil. This is like a couple tablespoons worth. We're just gonna rip it up. All right, so it's been about 12 minutes. We really let the San Marzanos break down and cook down. And at this point, you want to check for seasoning. So if you have to add a little bit of salt or a little bit of sugar. Tastes good. There's good balance of sweet, and I don't think it needs any salt. It's perfect. So this is how to make a basic, huge batch of tomato sauce. You can use it as a pizza sauce. You can use it on French bread pizza or, regular pizza. You can use it for anything. You can put it in small containers and freeze it. I do that all the time. So we hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned. We're getting ready to do the chicken parmesan recipe, which is going to be excellent. It's going to be a panko encrusted chicken parmesan, so stay tuned for that, and we will see you on the next episode.